Hello everyone, I got some updates about Amoa and just going over the portfolio. And so let's kind of get into it here. NTNX. Well, not much going on since last video. This one's doing okay. We got till October. We have one earnings report, one event coming up. We bought this on March 23rd. It's up 70.57%. And we're right at our entry, essentially. So anything from here is basically going to be our big ass profit. And there is a target on this, and I will show you later in the video. SBSC. This one I don't think is going to be successful. And that has to do with the mistake I talked about where there's just no volume in this name. In fact, I don't even think volume came in recently. Let's see. I mean, that's more than normal, but there's just no volume, right? You're looking at forward volume. There's just no volume. Look at Reddit. See, this is a volume in Reddit. You see how it's across all strikes, all expirations. So you get some movement, right? And yeah, so that's kind of like a mistake there. It's just avoid low volume names. And that would have saved me a trade there. And I'll show you where some pins are on this in a second and why I think it's not going to 65. Sell. Okay, we bought this on 6.8. It's up 28.38%. And that was trading the 30-55 spread that showed up on the chart. And we have a long time with this, and so we'll just let that cook. SpaceX. We shorted this here on June 18th on this day. And we had a big down move, and it was up 100%. Well, down here, somewhere in here, it's up 100%. And then we just reversed, but now we rotated again. And so I'm really just trying to look for one more liquidation down below this IPO price here, and maybe capture some profit in this 130, 120 area. And that would be a good return. Even if it goes to 130, that'd be a decent return. I'll take that. But we're kind of running out of time here. And if we get some more consolidation here, and I'm not down significantly, it's down 10% right now. I think what I'll do is I'll just roll this out till August. So take whatever I have. So I think this is a $3,670 position, and it's down 10%, so $367. And what I'll do is that if I see some consolidation here, like we're not getting follow through, I'll just take whatever's there and then move this out and roll this out maybe until August or something, just to try to recoup some time into this and try to, keep it on the portfolio, not let it just go to a loser. Okay. Everything else, not really much going on in the market, just kind of consolidating, not doing too much. VIX still has its 16 30 pin. Is that what it was? I can't remember. And watch list items. I think on the video I talked about VSAT. And, well, VSAT did very well. It went up 50% in 3 days, 3 days. I didn't get in on it. I was just too busy. I wasn't there. I wasn't looking. But that was a picture-perfect setup. Look at this one. So VSAT, here's what we saw. Oh, wow, it rotated higher. That's interesting. Okay, let's go back a few days. Oops, that's months. Here we go. Okay, one more. Let's go to Delta. Here we go back. Okay, this is what I saw. So I saw the spread. Here's the 60-105 spread. Also, there was this upfront $80 very large call that was sitting in the middle of the spread. You see that? It's sitting right in the middle. So someone is playing the middle of the distribution. See that? Also, I think if I recall on this name, the volatility of the 30-day smile was lowest. Yes. So you can also see that the realized vol is higher than the average implied vol, and the current implied vol is at its lowest, well, near its lowest percentile. So that was a perfect like setup right there for a very short-term trade, 1 week, 2 weeks. I think if you look at the 70s or 75s, there were 95 cents, right? And then I go over 2 days, and the 75s went to 1640. That's crazy. That's what is that? 1600%? What is that? 1640 divided by, yeah, 1600%. That's crazy. Now that doesn't happen all the time, but I did spot it, and I just didn't capitalize. Damn it. You know that happens. That's okay. Okay. Now Reddit. Well, Reddit has this 115 220 spread, I think it is. And I've just been waiting for that 115 and never got it. And, you missed the trade. That's okay. Yeah, it's this 115 220. And it almost got there. And now we're pushing back up to it. So we are going to come up to this 220 at some point. And it looks like it's making it there. So that's unfortunate. That was probably one of the best identifiers of a long-term spread there. Wix is a tail trade. It's a spread. So it's this upfront spread here, this 70 120, and you've got a lot of really strong calls sitting here to help support it. So if you want to do a tail till January, the 70 120 is actually a good trade that you could do, right? And I think, let's see what that is. January, it's 199 DTE. It's a 40 delta, so it's not too bad. 120. Yeah, 1100%. That's actually good. That's a good tail trade. I do have an option here that if in this week, if SpaceX is just not gonna push lower, I'll take whatever's there, whatever I have there, whether it's a 10% loss or a 30% loss, whatever. I'll just close the trade, cut the loss, and then move it into this trade. So it's kind of like a tail trade, but it's going to be what? Maybe like a $3,000 trade, $2,800 trade, which is a fairly small, position sizing for me. So that's fine, but it'd be a tail trade. And then I could sit that on for 199 days. So I think I might do that one. That's pretty clear. We just need earnings to come through and have this thing have some type of short squeeze. There's a lot of put delta here. But if it does rally, this very long dated January 2850 call is going to help push fuel for the fire. And then they're going to have to cover. There's also this 70 100 spread there. You see that? It's very faint. So there's another one there for October. But as it rallies and gets closer to this $170, they're buying this one to hedge, and they're covering this one to hedge, which then will start pushing up to these pins. So that could be a potential big unwind, hopefully. And maybe that's a trade. Maybe I'll put that one on. CRM and Now, I'm just kind of keeping on the watch list. There's nothing really actionable yet here. Toast was a good one. I didn't put it on. You see the spread here, 25, 35. Bounce, bounce, consolidate below, consolidate, and now we're rallying. So maybe that goes to 35, but you should have bought that down here, basically. So that one's kind of too late. Figma. Figma is showing up as a tail. I don't know if it's showing up anymore. Let's see. It's not there anymore. It was showing up as a tail trade. I think it was. Yeah. The tail was lifting on Figma. You see how the tail is, the at the money's lifting and the tail is lifting, but the put side isn't really doing much, at least down 30%. It's just kind of there. So there's some call activity coming in. That was a few days ago. And then one day it was down, the next day it was down, and then the next day it was up like 10%. So for that one, Figma I think is a more longer term trade. There's this 25, 85. It's actually 100. There's 100 in there that you can take on. So it's a 25, 100 spread, but it's out till 28. And I think I'm just going to wait. That's all I'm going to do. It's such a long time that I'm just going to wait, see how it develops. It'll probably rally, pull back, right? And then as we approach and we get some shorter distance, maybe it's cheaper, who knows, but I'm waiting on that one for now. Hims was a tell trade. It was showing up. That started to work. Netflix is a tell trade, but they're just watch list things. Okay, some information on Amoa. Well, there's price alerts now. So you could have price alerts. So if you go to Reddit, because I have a price alert on Reddit, you can see I have a price alert at 115 right here. And you could drag it and it re-updates it, see? And you'll get a sound notification. Well, you can't edit it from the chart. That's a bit strange. Maybe I'll fix that. You know, you can play sounds. Right? You can get an email, web notification, right? So now there's alerts on the website. So that's kind of cool. Another thing, too, is that there is now a TradingView overlay for Mountain of Alpha. Now, be careful with this because I don't know if it's terms of service or not, so be a bit careful. But after you install it, you get your metrics down here. And you could add the metrics to the chart. Well, this one's going to be a bit funky because there's outliers. Sorry about that. But we'll go to NTNX. You see that? We'll go to sell. See that? And it shows the pin levels. So you could see that's the range I'm trading there, right? So you could see, like, I bought the 30 here and I sold the 55. See, and that's those two, that range there. If you look at SPSC, which I talked about, you could see that there's this call wall right there, and there's really nothing above, and there's something down here. So more than likely, we're going down to 45. And so this one's probably going to fail. But I can't get out of it. I've been trying to sell, and there's just no volume. No one's trading in it. So I can't even get out of the option. It's too thin. So that one's a loss. But that's okay. You're going to get losses. You're going to get winners. And here's NTNX. Now, NTNX, these ones still show up, this $80 and this $57.50. They still show up, but these two metrics are doing some interesting tolerance levels and things. So anyway, they're still there. The $57.50 and this 80 are still there, and I'm anticipating earnings to help, you know, push it through this put wall or this call. Excuse me. I think these are the puts. Yeah, green is the puts. It's kind of hard to, yeah, see green. So I could just do maybe puts and then calls so it's easier. And so I'm hoping earnings will push it through these puts and then up to the 80 or whatever, somewhere in here, and I could take profit. We just don't want it to kind of pull back here and then we have to beg for earnings to help us, right? We want this to continue up. And a lot of people are moving average monkeys. So, oh, that's interesting. If you use the quick thing, it nukes all of the Amoa charts. I'll have to fix that. This is brand new. Sorry, there's probably bugs. But there's moving average monkeys, right? They're going to probably sell this long-dated moving average, and it'll probably pull it down, and then they'll probably push it up again. And so there is that, right? Like, we just have to deal with what other people are going to be doing. There we go. And red, green. There we go. You can also have net delta percentage of float on here, and it'll put it on the left side. See? And there's a zero line here. So I could see that we dipped below the zero line here, and you probably should have bought there, but the range is typically anything that's very slightly below zero, and then you have spreads, like sell is probably that. See? So we're dipping below zero, we're dipping below zero, dipping below zero, and then we're sitting on this put wall. Oh, that's interesting. Did it redo it? It did redo it. So I'm gonna fix that bug. There's a lot of bugs. Sorry, it's not persisting the colors on change, but I'll fix that. Okay, so you can see like Delta's pushing up now. The price is pushing up, and you know Delta has been up in the 13% before. So we'll just let that one sit, right? And so yeah, you have this overlay. It works on the S&P 500. It's going to squash a bit because there's going to be a lot of outliers. I can figure out how to get rid of the outliers, but for now, you know, deal with it, right? So Delta is pretty wide. And you could even go to the VIX and see it. And so there's probably some indices that I'm not translating correctly from a TradingView symbol to a Mountain of Alpha symbol. So if you find any, let me know, and I'll just go and update it. But you can see like it shows the deltas. Now for indices, the gamma strikes are probably more important. And does this work? It does work. Yay. So you could see here that we have a 16, 25. That's what it was, not 30. So that's the range of vol. And so once we're down here, you can expect some higher vol. Not always the case, because you could see back here, right? Like it didn't really respect anything back there. But over here, it respected it. It blew past it. It respected it, respected it, respected it. So it just gives you ranges and things to anticipate, right? S&P 500. This is gamma levels. So you see there's a big ass 7500 gamma pin right there. It's actually inverted. Let's check because the colors could be wrong. So let's do put and let's do call so we know. Yes, it is inverted. Usually you see puts below and calls above. And this inversion may drive it to 8,000. And if you look at 8,000, that's where like the delta was sitting as well. So we may actually push to 8,000. We just have to. Now I don't see much inversion. There's a little inversion here, but I don't see much inversion in the history. Put, call, put, call, put, call, put, call. Yeah, this inversion is very strange. Usually strategies are done where you're just shorting 3 standard deviation puts. You're just selling them to collect an income. And that's why they usually show up as the strongest. But the fact that this is showing up at 8,000, I think you're going to get a rally there up to 8,000. And that's going to drive a lot of equities. Big moves in the mags. Meta 8%, right? There's a spread. So you see that spread. It's a gamma spread, and it bounced on the gamma spread. Delta was almost negative. See there? And then we just popped on it. And so we're probably going to go to this 750, and it lasts till September. See that? So Meta might actually drive that 8,000 move, or help drive that 8,000 move on the other indices. So anyway, install the plugin. Let me know if you find bugs or errors. It looks like a lot of the mag names are sitting at slightly below negative delta, which means that we're probably going to get some rallies here. NVIDIA? No, it's just Microsoft and Meta. Google? Is Google there? No. Amazon? Amazon was almost there. Almost there. But you could see like it goes negative, consolidates, and then boom, it rallies. Right? So here, negative, rallies, negative, rallies. So looking for that net delta percentage of float is a good signal. Anyway, that's what I got. I added, I don't know if I talked about this. There's presets, right? There's like this asymmetric call bid. The put bid one might not be that great because asymmetric puts are usually what people are using to hedge. So the natural shape of the curve is you're not really going to get asymmetric put bids. And so I do have a gating on delta percentage of float. And obviously this is going to show you all the high flyers, right? Well, not all high flyers, but MU is in there, SanDisk is in there, right? And this is doing the volatility overlay 90-day. And you can see there's a lift in the put side, right? And there's a kind of little lift in the call side, but this is a natural shape of a smile. So you got to be a bit careful with those. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Tell me how the plugins work and let me know.